So you're trying to get items off your credit report and you guys are claiming identity theft, knowing it's not really fraud. Stick around to the end of this video. That's the last thing you guys want to do. And I'm gonna show you guys actually a better method on how to actually be able to get items removed off your credit report without going ahead and claiming identity theft or trying to do an FTC method. So let's go ahead and get after it right now. Disclaimer real quick, you guys can do whatever you guys want. I'm just saying, as far as with the credit bureaus, this is exactly what I've been noticing and everything that's been happening so far. So I'm gonna share with you guys. So the thing is, when you guys go ahead and actually claim identity theft, especially if it's not real identity theft, right? Oftentimes what happens is that the credit bureaus will block that information within 4 days of receiving an FTC report and also a police report in order to be able to make that FTC valid. A lot of people don't necessarily tell you that. However, the thing is though, it's under US 15 code 1681 C2, and that's basically blocking of identity theft. The thing is, it's not necessarily removed off your credit report because of the fact that it might look like it's deleted off your credit report. You might not see it, but just because you don't see it doesn't necessarily mean it's been deleted. Because the thing is, with this identity theft block, what usually happens is that the credit bureaus will often suppress that information for about 6 months and block it from being on the credit report for about 6 months, right? While they also conduct the investigation. So it's almost like, all right, cool. Like the credit bureaus, whenever you first send out an identity theft FTC report, they really have to take those really serious, right? They'll actually be able to go ahead and give you guys the benefit of the doubt. But for the most part, whenever you guys first do this, the credit bureaus will often give you guys that benefit of the doubt and go ahead and get it suppressed off of your report. Now, suppression does not necessarily mean deletion, right? So the thing is, why I don't recommend this method, especially if it's not real identity theft, is that what you're doing when you guys are stating identity theft or using the FTC method is the fact that you guys are putting the burden of proof on you guys rather than the burden of proof on the credit bureaus. Now, what do you mean by that, Abu? So what I simply mean is that now you're going to be having to supply documentation on, you know what I'm saying, say a police report, supply information as far as a police report, dates of when it happened, and you're going to have to prove your case to the credit bureaus that it was legitimately identity theft. Oftentimes, based off of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, whenever you guys submit a dispute based off of the reinvestigation process, which is 15 US code 1681 A for all the, you know what I'm saying, for all the nerds out there for sure, and just for everybody that's fact checking on the comments, so don't worry, I got y'all. But basically with that being said, right, is that whenever you guys go ahead and dispute under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it's usually what it's meant to be is that the credit bureaus have the burden of proof to supply any type of documentation. They're supposed to go ahead and actually reach out to the original creditor, and basically the original creditor is supposed to prove with the individual contract, whatever it may be, that you are the rightful owner or that indeed they're reporting it correctly. But once you guys switch it up and say that it's identity theft, right, then you're putting the burden of proof on you and it makes it a lot harder. So in that time frame, right, what happens is that the credit bureaus will go ahead and do an investigation through 6 months, right? And so have you ever seen, like, basically you saw an item was blocked or whatever and now it comes back on your report, and then you have some people telling you they didn't notify you guys within 21 days, so they can't just re-put it back on your report due to the fact that the original lender had to basically notify within 21 days. That's actually false, because once you guys get a suppression, it's not necessarily a deletion, right? They just kind of really remove it off of your credit report in the meantime while they conduct an investigation. And so if they ever come back and find that the original creditor will resubmit it onto your report, then basically you guys can't necessarily say that they didn't notify you guys because it was never deleted in the first place. The 21-day law is simply stated for any type of accounts that are deleted, right? So if you have an account that's already been deleted, the lender has to notify you guys within 21 days that they're putting this back on your report. But if it's only suppressed and not deleted, then they can go ahead and just put it back on your report without even notifying you guys, because what they're doing at that point is that they're actually just submitting additional documentation to the credit bureaus. Now, I know in the pandemic, right, a lot of people were using this method left and right, and hey, I could never judge anybody, so it's plus it's really none of my business, honestly. So it doesn't matter. But for those people that really want to, you know what I'm saying, get ahead of the curve, I just want to share with you guys so now you guys can't say that you didn't know the information. However, in the pandemic, I know a lot of people are getting these items removed and they're just using the FTC method, like, oh, okay, I'll get it removed within a week, within 4 days, and it worked a lot of times, right? But the thing was, those credit bureaus were really backed up at the time, and so oftentimes people weren't talking about 6 months or a year down the line. Those items are still popping back up on their credit report, but I bet people weren't, you know what I'm saying, posting that on Instagram. So I mean, you just really have to take everything with a grain of salt. Now, what I do recommend is that you guys don't go ahead and make a claim, right? Whenever you're submitting disputes, don't make a claim to the credit bureaus, right? Just simply state that you guys have the laws under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to basically have this reinvestigated because you're not 100% accurate that these items on your report are all accurate, that you want the credit bureaus to actually reinvestigate them. So that's simply what I would say, right? The first letter I would send out is just a reinvestigation letter, just to be able to get them to go ahead and actually verify or remove the item. But don't go ahead and start making claims just yet, or even say identity theft, because again, like, claiming identity theft is one of the easiest ways to not get that account removed, because of the fact that now you're putting the burden of proof on you, and for that account to be removed, you're the one that's going to have to supply all of the information to prove that this account was legitimately not yours. You're gonna have to prove that you weren't behind the computer, you didn't sign for that loan, and so it just makes it a lot more difficult. And oftentimes, say for example, if you guys are trying to do this method for every single type of dispute that you guys are using, the credit bureaus, I mean, they have a database, they have a system, so they know exactly what type of disputes you were submitting in the past. If they end up giving you the benefit of the doubt the first time and the original lender actually comes back and state that no, this account was yours, and when you guys go ahead and actually redispute the same exact way, claiming FTC, what do you think is going to happen? They're just going to simply be like, nope, like, we gave you the benefit of the doubt the first time. They're like, we're not trusting you, we're going to go ahead and actually just basically send this off to a lender, because the credit bureaus, they have the choice of being able to get it blocked or not. I'm gonna give you guys a quick bonus secret just to wrap up this video. So if you guys have payment history on an account, most credit bureaus, they won't really block the account. They'll just simply put it under dispute, put it as fraud or FTC, whatever you want to call it, and they'll send it off to the lender. And most of the time, the lender is going to verify that item because they have that proof that you actually did sign for that account, or they have proof of payment history. So if you don't have payment history, then that's the one thing. But you guys do have to realize that just because you submit an FTC or are claiming fraud, the credit bureaus have the choice of either blocking it right away or just sending it off to the lender, even though they're supposed to block it all the time, but you know how they play. So I just want to drop some gems for you guys. Definitely didn't want anybody to get in trouble, so you can't say you don't know now, but hope this video is helpful. If you found this video helpful, please share this with at least 5 of your friends so we all can grow together. And you know what I'm saying, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying, like, if you haven't subscribed, what you doing? Hardest financial channel out here, hardest YouTube channel outside here. But let's get it. I'll see you at the top, my boy.